Hello and good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you this afternoon, 5/9/2023. We are well into May now, and it is Tuesday, and I am here with the Kanawha Valley Hustler podcast. Want to let you know real quick that we are going to be having an event here on May 22nd. If you'd like to come see me live, we're going to be over at the Recovery Sports Bar and Grill with some of our friends from Extreme Networks, and they are going to be showing off their new commercial bundle. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're interested in new construction, updating networks, or building out new networks, that will be a very cool session. So be sure to check that out. Today, I am here with an exciting guest that's going to be talking about some really interesting things when it comes to hustling here in the Kanawha Valley. He is definitely one of the people doing it. And I just want to let you know that he is involved. He is actually a director and a producer here in town. And he is the owner of Eagle Eye Productions. His name is Jacob Holmes. And I just want to ask real quick, Jacob, what's your hustle?
Yeah, hi Joe. Thank you. I'm a director and a filmmaker, and I own, like you said, Eagle Eye Productions here in the area. I'm currently trying to grow my business and my commercial offerings, but ultimately, I want to grow large enough to focus on filmmaking, making movies.
So what is it about filmmaking that drew your attention? What is it that gets you interested to get into filmmaking? Because that's not an easy job. A lot of people think of it as something fun to do, but there's a lot of work that goes into filmmaking. What is it that draws you to that?
Um, so I actually opened my company as a drone company. I only did aerial stuff, and I made a documentary, and that had the whole involvement. I had pre-production, I had the editing process. It was more about storytelling, and I fell in love with it. The editing process is what really made me fall in love with it. So it's seeing something that I wrote, something that I just had in my head come to life on screen. It really just it's very gratifying, and it's a lot of fun to do and see happen.
Well, let's take a step back for just a minute because there's going to be plenty of people that are going to be listening to this that might not know exactly what editing is. So, can you just kind of give everybody kind of an idea what is editing when it comes to filmmaking?
Sure. So there's quite a few different types of editing. My company focuses on cinematic editing. So we do, uh, as opposed to just filming something and putting some music on it, we focus more on the storytelling aspect of it. So we will color grade, we'll color correction and color grading, two different things, but it's a story for another, or it's a topic for another time. Um, Putting the video to sound, the microphones, the camera work, all of that stuff goes into editing and goes into telling the story of whatever you're trying to film.
Now, you've got a couple of big premieres coming up here real soon, don't you?
I do. My first short film, written, produced, and edited all by myself, and directed, is called Back, and that's in quotes. It's about a military service member who comes home with post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's a story of him overcoming that. While I'm here, if anyone took part in that film, thank you for doing that. Everyone that took part did it free of charge. They were all friends and family that believed in the vision. Overall, I had about 40 to 50 cast and crew over the course of a week. We filmed it. So that premieres this coming Saturday on the 13th at Tays Valley Church of God, Scott Depot. Um, it's free. Come on down, have some good times. There'll be some giveaways and stuff like that, but everyone's welcome. It's a free premiere. So come support a local filmmaker.
Now, you say you directed as well. How did you cast for it? Where did you get your actors and how do you coach them through? How do you work with your actors on their performances?
So on this movie particularly, I did something that I think a lot of first time filmmakers don't do. I wrote my script for my actors. I knew who was going to be more likely to take part in the movie and all that. So the supporting actor, his name's Daniel Burko. His character's name is Jason. He I wrote the part for him. He's trying to help his buddy who just got home from war. help him get through stuff. And Daniel's a caring guy who is a good friend and plays that role really well. So casting was more about starting the scripting session. Everyone that is in the movie, I wrote the part for them. The only character that had to act, because it was not for them, and I didn't write the part exactly for that person. I wrote it for the character, was the main character. His name is James. He's played by my brother, Zachary Holmes. He spent a large amount of time and money preparing for this role, and I'm grateful for his dedication to the project in that.
That sounds great that you've got people in your life that are willing to do that and willing to help you
Oh
out
yeah,
with that. But you've also
yeah.
got a documentary coming up, right?
I do, yes. So as a Christian man, I try to do something at least once a year that does something for the kingdom of God. And last year, I did a commercial for my church free of charge. This year, I did a documentary. It's about uh, the pastor, the profession, or the calling of a pastor. A lot of times they're viewed as they're supposed to be these perfect and super righteous individuals, and um, they're just like you and I. They're just doing what they're called to do. They're just trying to make their way through life, and a lot of times they don't get the grace and mercies that a lot of us have. So it's just about showing what happens behind closed doors and what they go through as in their profession. That premiere is June 2nd. I, the timing is still going to be working out, but I think it's 6 o'clock. Tickets will be $10. Follow my Facebook page, Eagle Eye Productions on Facebook, and you'll see the ticketing info there.
Well, let's talk just a minute about Eagle Eye since you mentioned it. Eagle Eye Productions, what is it that you guys do? I guess that's more of the. It seems like the documentaries and everything are more for that's is that paying the bills? I guess is kind of the question that I'm asking, or is it the Eagle Eye Production that's paying the bills?
No, so the filmmaking
It seems like more of a
is my
passion
passion.
project.
It's my passion, yeah. Ultimately, I want Eagle Eye to be a movie company. I want to offer commercials and weddings, which is what I mainly do now. Uh, but I want there to be actual feature-length films and distributors and investors that work with Eagle Eye to make movies. But yeah, our major offerings are real estate. So like I said, I can see one of my drones right there. I started as a drone company, and I got my start doing that with real estate. I'm licensed by the FAA, so everything's legal. I do in-home fly-throughs. I do all that stuff. But what I really enjoy doing with the company is commercials and weddings. I'm trying to grow my commercial offerings now, so I'm been working with a couple of different companies lately to do some commercials. And we do the full process. We do storyboarding to really plan and make sure that we get what the client wants, all the way down to editing. It's a lot of fun, and I want to continue offering that in Eagle Eye. But like I said, I want to focus on movies. So once I get big enough, we'll have multiple divisions of Eagle Eye, and I'll be doing the movies. So.
That's very cool. And you do commercial production both in and around the Kanawha Valley, and you go a little bit outside of the
Right.
Kanawha Valley, don't you?
Yeah, so I just last month did a commercial for a STEM plus M, that's science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine school in South Point, Ohio. And this summer I'll be doing a production for a dog training, boarding, and walking company in Arlington, Virginia. And around here, I've done, like I said, I did that one for the church. I have done a pressure washing company here called the West Virginia Pressure Washer. So yeah, it's something I want to grow and I want to continue getting with, and I'd love to start getting some corporate clients and start being able to get clients that we can make real, bring in the lighting and bring in the audio and all that stuff and do a real film-like commercial.
Right. That sounds awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, we're running up against our time, Jacob, but I'd like to know, I always like to ask people when it comes to When like to talk to hustlers, I like to get a little bit of insight. What is one thing that somebody that's either in your industry or would like to, make their own movies, would like to produce movies, would like to be involved in directing, anything like that? What's one step that they can do to get closer to that dream today, right now?
Surround yourself with like-minded people. In some businesses, you'll hear don't have a, keep everything close. I'm a firm believer in having a team. Um, I've had one person, Seth Raiders, his name. He's worked with me since the beginning of Eagle Eye. He was the assistant director on my film, and he was the assistant director on my last film as well. He comes with me to all my major shoots. Have a team. I just hired a camera operator. I just hired a director of photography, and I actually yesterday met with an editor that I believe is going to start editing. So the team is number one. You don't have to go to film school. You got to take the time to learn the stuff that you need to know. If you want to be a director, learn about everything you can, and most importantly, learn how to deal with people. Directing, while it's your job to make the film come alive, it's more your job to direct the cast and crew so that everything gets done within the constraints that you have, as well as to meet the vision of the film. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jacob. That has been very helpful and very informative. Very cool to find out everything that there is to know about Eagle Eye Productions, some of the cool stuff that you're working on. Again, you've got Back coming out this Saturday, and you've got the Called for Such a Time as This coming out in June. Where can everybody find you and stay up to date with you?
Facebook is going to be the best way. Everything that I have and release will be on Facebook, and that's Eagle Eye Productions. And it's you can message me on there as well. I have clients reach out to me there as well. So yeah, keeping up to date or reaching out, you can find me on Facebook.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and thank you all for watching today. I hope that you found that helpful and informative. I hope you reach out to Jacob and let him know that you're excited about some of the stuff that he's producing. One more quick reminder, if you're looking to expand your network, upgrading your network, or if you're doing new construction outside of remodeling, anything like that, and looking for new technologies and networks, we are going to be having a lunch and learn on May 22nd. And I would invite you to join us. The link is right there in the comments. Would love to see you there. And thanks again for Jacob. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.